Wes Moore is the subject of another investigative piece by, who's it by?
It's the
Somebody
Washington Free
Free
Beacon.
Beacon.
Free Beacon. Thank you. Andrew Kerr. Andrew Kerr did a great piece about him previously. All these people like George Clooney, all excited about Wes Moore, should get a subscription to the Beacon and start to understand that, like many people in politics, but maybe more so, Wes Moore has embellished his past. And there's plenty of positive things to say about Wes Moore. He's a charismatic guy. He's a smart guy. He's a nice guy. Got elected governor of Maryland. But I'm telling you, people who want Wes Moore to be the nominee are ignoring this at their peril. These stories are very carefully and well reported. The first one was about exaggerating and saying things that appear to be untrue about his record at Oxford as a professed scholar of terrorism. And now a story that Wes Moore has told on a regular basis about his family's past has been put in doubt by Andrew Kerr of the Washington Beacon. The story of his grandfather's quote, great-grandfather's quote, exile from South Carolina to Jamaica in the dead of night to escape a Klan lynching. Okay, I read these pieces. There are two things that stand out to me. Andrew Kerr's meticulous reporting and not hyperbolic. He's not taking leaps of faith. And then the second thing that stands out, as in the first article, the Wes Moore's communications team reaction is, you're right wing, you're just on a vendetta against him. They are not addressing the specifics. And you can see here, for those of you watching, not on the podcast, conservatives are quite interested in the fact that there's a long list of things that Wes Moore, you can read them here for yourselves, about his background, that he just doesn't seem to have told the truth about. Again, politicians embellish. And the current president of the United States, I'm sure in the prayer breakfast, has told 100 lies because he does. And
he's still going. He's still going.
He's still going.
We're a minute over Larry's deadline. No bubble cuddle blanket
yes,
for you this morning.
Yeah, Kevin's going to win that one. I don't know why I said what I said about that. Yeah. In any event, I believe that this is part of why Wes Moore will end up not running for president, maybe ever, because he can. I was surprised, neither surprised nor shocked that the first story was not picked up by the Washington Post. I doubt this one will be either. Kevin, if Wes Moore called you and said, "Hey, I watched the morning meeting. Halpern seems really down on me. What should I do about all this stuff?" What would you? And how serious is this, Kevin? If I want to run for president, how serious is this? What would you tell him?
Where is he right now on your list, Mark? Wes Moore.
I've taken him off because I don't think he's going to run.
He's off. Okay, he's off the top 10.
Not in the top 8.
I mean, listen, it builds a narrative, right? And again, Mark, as you just said, he's an impressive guy. Came out of poverty, did all this. I don't understand the impulse to have to even engage in fantasy creation when you got a great origin story, and he wrote a book about it, which propelled him in this race. And it was a really, I will say that was a knockdown, drag out primary of Maryland luminaries that he was able to beat out for that governor's spot, at least on the Democratic side.
Yep.
Part of the the timing of this too is, on his part, I'd rather this come up 3 years before the race, right? Actually really kicks off. So he can say, well, we've adjudicated this. I've talked about this already. So that's somewhat of a cover, right? That this is coming out now 3 years, and he can focus on being charismatic and maybe delivering that one extra congressional seat, although there's a roadblock in the Senate to do that, the Maryland Senate to do that. So there is something to be said for adjudicating this to some degree now. But where there's smoke, there's fire, and this might not be the last time we hear something that has been a little myth creation.
Larry, I'm sure someone must have made this point because it's so obvious, but Wes Moore's book is called The Other Wes Moore, and it's about how he was confused with a different guy named Wes Moore who had legal issues. And of course, it gives us rise to the notion. The other Wes Moore is this Wes Moore. There are two Wes Moores. There's the Wes Moore whose bio has elevated him up, but portions of which are not true. And then there's the Wes Moore who claims he grew up in harsh circumstances and went to the same elite school in the Bronx that Jack Kennedy went to. I mean, I used to be on Morning Joe with him. I like him. Wes Moore is a super nice guy. I don't have anything against him, but this stuff is phenomenally dangerous for him. Larry.
Yeah, he's my governor, but I didn't vote for him. We don't agree politically, but I'm with you. I like him. It's hard not to like Wes Moore. He lives 5 miles away from me, 3 miles away from me.
And his wife is fantastic too. Yeah. I mean, that's part of that's package deal.
And by the way, listen, he's running for re-election this year. Republicans haven't coalesced around a candidate. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he might lose, but this could chip away at support for him.
But is the Washington Post ever going to cover this? We don't know, because we don't know if there'll be a Washington Post.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.